Okay, here we are again. What I'd like to do in this video is talk about a certain group that's been getting a lot of notoriety. Well, the term gets thrown out there a lot. How about that? And there is a group of them out there that are, people should view with some caution and definitely be reserved about it, but understand also that they're not all dangerous. I guess it'd be the group known as the Incels, and they're a part of the Manosphere. I will say they're part of the Manosphere. I actually, even myself, sort of identify as a incel, but for different reasons, and I'll go on to explain this. Now, to get into the true meaning of the term incel, it stands for involuntary celibate, and it kind of denotes this part of the Manosphere of unattractive, socially awkward, possibly disabled men that resent good-looking women because they can't get sex from them, and they think that women owe them sex. And they also resent men that have sex with these women, the studs and the jocks and the alphas that, sometimes they're alphas, simps and the more beta males that maybe fall for these, that these women fall for, or have sex with, rather. Now, let me break this down. In some senses, I do consider myself an incel, but maybe possibly because I don't believe in having sex with them. I believe women do owe us, by the way, in Western culture. The women owe us a lot, the men. But they don't owe us sex. In fact, that's the one thing they've been giving away too leisurely, and it's done them the most harm. It's backfired on them. Now, in that respect, I just want to say, I guess you could maybe call me a volcel, a voluntary celibate then. But and I'm also seeking to redefine this term. Now, a lot of these serial killers and stuff, or these mass shooters in recent times, and the third wave feminism, these kind of social outcasts and guys in schools, and these mass shooters in schools and stuff, oftentimes they were defined as incels. A lot of times it's white and Asian males who are heterosexual and small-framed and, like I said, not very attractive to females. Social outcasts, kind of tending to be maybe bullied oftentimes by their peers and co-workers or whatnot. The butt of the joke always. Understandably, that gets to a guy, and he feels he has to take his rage and his inferiority complex out on somebody. And what better group demographics than to take it out on women and men that are kind of taking advantage of these gullible, naive females that are giving them all the sex they want. Now, when it comes to what do women owe us, I just believe, if anything, they owe us money, they owe us time, they owe us resources, they owe us back their kids, the kids they've ruined through family courts. Ugly custody battles, false rape charges, and false abuse charges. I could go on and on and on. I won't go into every detail, but they do owe us. Make no mistake. And them giving you whatever. And I look at it kind of this way too. These guys, especially these guys that fall for these single mothers, knowing that they're never going to be first. They're willingly taking on another man's offspring, or as this woman says, a mistake. I made a mistake. She's carrying this mistake around with her, taking care of this, usually on her own, getting assistance from others and the government to do so, and then finding another chump, that's how I see it, as a chump, to take care of that kid for her. Raise that kid for her, claim that kid as his own when it's not his. There is no greater form of and this guy also knows he's never going to be first in the relationship. This woman is always going to value something else and the kid more than him. I can't paint an any more bleak picture. And for some guy to be, just because he can get his rocks off a couple times a year for that reason. Oh my goodness, dude. Are you serious? How can you do this? How can you degrade yourself to that point? I won't do it. I will not do it. I refuse to do it. That's all I have. So, on a note about this is kind of a side note. When the Roman Empire was falling, there was a rise in this type of behavior in the males of, having MGTOW and men going their own way, and the incels. There was a growing population of these guys that were out there, and abortion, promiscuity in the females, of course, the rise of the welfare state, and all these other isms, transgenderism, the LGBTQ. This is all resulted from feminism. This has all resulted from women wanting to be independent and prove that they can do everything without a man. That's where this all came from. It's where the root of it all started with this, with feminism. Feminism, if you want to do the research, you find out it all starts with feminism, where this all went wrong, where this all went bad. If you're a historian and you've studied Roman history, you see that's what happened. And in the end, they couldn't even get their men to fight for them. They had to hire mercenaries to do their fighting. And we're seeing the same thing here. We're crumbling from within. We've been transformed from within. We are self-destructing and self-imploding. And yes, I do support the Manosphere. I do, like I said, I consider myself an incel, or like I said, a volcel, a proud one. I will not degrade myself to raise another man's child. Again, I'll go into that in the future. I will not sleep with some girl that I know has been pumped and dumped by numerous Chads and Tyrones. I will not do it. I will not do it. If you look at if you're a red pillar, and like I am, and those of you who are out there, I would rewatch, take your time and rewatch the American Pie series, especially the first movie, or the one where they went off to college. The first two, I think it was. You know, you're going to hear a lot of innuendos in there that are almost like, in a way, throwing it in our faces and mocking us. We laughed at them at the time, but actually we were the ones that they were laughing about. We were the chumps being duped. I love that one, and I think it was in the remake, when the one guy, you know, him and his girlfriend had both gone off to separate colleges for a year, and there was an innuendo in there where somebody said, well, if a guy says he slept with 2 chicks, it probably means he's either slept with one or none. And the reverse to that is, well, if a girl says she slept with 2 guys, it's more like she slept with 4 or 5. I mean, that right there, it's women, you know, downplaying their sexual activity, and men over dramatizing their sexual activity. You know, simping 101. And I've been there, so I know what I'm talking about. And I'm just here to kind of advise people not to do the same. But I would recommend that. And anyways, I hope I've been of some help to you. And again, I'd like to get a few more subscribers to my channel. I think I got a lot of material I'd like to share with some of y'all, and I'm here for that, and I'm looking forward to it. Okay, later.